So, don't you love when routine maintenance spreads to a little bit bigger problem? So I was greasing the front axle of the X748, and I noticed that one of the tie rod grease zerks was not taking grease. It was a little difficult to grease last time I greased it, which was late fall. But this time it just would not take any grease at all, so I figured, alright, I need to pull the grease zerk out. In the process, basically one thing led to another, and I ended up basically just pulling the tie rod out. And I've already got it fixed, and I'll just do the reinstall. But basically there's the original side, and then we see what I've had to do here is I've actually had to replace the grease zerk. I ended up actually using a NPT instead of metric grease zerk. That's why it's sticking out a little bit. I don't have any metric zerks in the shop. I thought I did, but I could not find them. So, but everything's good now. It takes grease. Just got to put it back together. So this is kind of just a reminder. This is a quick video. I'll video putting it back in and everything. This is just a reminder. This is why you should really inspect things when you grease it and you do all your regular maintenance, because this could have led to a larger problem. These tie rods are not cheap in any sense of the imagination. I want to say they're 150 bucks or so. So you got to keep up with the maintenance on them and keep them greased. I actually use, I've tried two different types of grease. I've been using a JT6. It's from Mystic with some moly in it. I think it's 3% moly in it. Right now I'm using Lucas heavy duty oil or grease. I think I like the moly a little bit better, so probably once I use this tube of the Lucas up for greasing stuff like this, I'll go back to my to the grease, the high temp moly grease. I seem to really like that. It makes the machine turn nice and smooth. So I'll set the camera up so you can actually see me install these again, and we'll go from there. All right. So one important thing to note is the tie rods are directional, so you should take note of that. I obviously did, because I knew which side was bad, which grease zerk was bad. So I've already got this one in. We're going to walk over here, and I'll go ahead and set the camera up. See, this side right here is the one that's free. The other one is controlled by the steering cylinder. So what I'm going to do is, let's see if I can get the camera set up here. I think that'll work. Maybe not. There we go. So what I'm going to do, just take the castle nut off. And then this is a pretty simple process. It's not difficult at all, but the tie rod, I should have started videoing earlier. I wasn't thinking about it, but the tie rod can get stuck in these arms right here, and so I actually ended up getting a hammer to get it out. Something you don't want to do is you don't want to beat on the threads of the end. So what I did is I actually just kind of softly tapped this part of the shaft right here, and then I also left the nut on there and tapped that. And fortunately it was able to come out. One side came out before the other, so I could flip it around and get a little bit more force on it. But once again, you don't want to use too much force because you don't want to tear anything up. In fact, if it hadn't come out when it did, I was actually going to go ahead and attach a puller and actually try to push, just apply some constant pressure and actually push everything back. But now that I've already got this in here, something I just realized is I never went back and wiped the old grease off the bottom here of the pin. So I'm going to do that real quick. That way, might as well start fresh, right? In the process of replacing that grease zerk, I went ahead and cleaned all the old grease out of the tie rod end, and so that way, we're going to start fresh. No problems there. So anyway, I'm going to go ahead and get these tightened back down. This isn't much of a video, but it shows you the importance of normal maintenance. So, thanks for watching.